I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Thank you, Vincent Giovanni. Wait, did I say that right? Giovannon. Giovanni. See, I'm half Italian, so I can get away with screwing that up. But thanks, man. He hooked me up with the playfield fuse values. I was at storage today, shuffling through more manuals, and unfortunately I did not find the Ice Fever manual that I thought I might have had. There's still a chance I might have it somewhere else, so I haven't given up quite yet. So there are the fuses all checked, and I did have to replace a couple. There's a couple weird ones in there. I don't even know how to read them. One looked like 1.6 volts or amps. Anyway, this is supposed to be 2 amp, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and they are all now. I just replaced the top two, I believe. So that's good to go. So what I think I'm going to do now, bust out the soldering gun and remedy this connector situation here. What I've come to realize is that it was kind of good that I picked Ice Fever as the next project, because I do have a couple parts playfield still from Black Hole, which is also Gottlieb. There's the lower playfield. So there's all kinds of great stuff I can salvage from that, and the main playfield in the back room as well, including wires. So I could probably find the same green-black wire here and get rid of the connector, get some new lengths of wire, and tidy that up on both sides here. And then I also noticed that this coin switch wire here is hanging on. That's what I'm talking about. That one is going to get resoldered as well. Maybe while I'm at it, I should really consider getting rid of the quick connects on the flippers. Ooh, live spider. Don't tell Jamie. I think I got it. You know, I might get rid of these quick connects. Because, watch this. If I pull one off. Okay, let's not do it right now. But often, you go to pull them off, and they fall apart in a couple pieces. And that one's actually intact. So, oh, did I screw it up? Yeah, there it is, right on cue. Yeah, so that is going to get remedied as well. Let's solder on all those directly and get rid of these flaky quick connects. So that's good for reliability. So time to bust out the soldering gun. Soldering iron, soldering station, the soldering thing. Okay, shout out to David Alverson. He said that maybe I can fix my dim displays by reflowing the pins on the glass to the PCB themselves, which kind of makes sense because when I was pushing on this one before, well, the old one that was in there, one of the digits was kind of coming and going, so I kind of suspected that might have resolved that issue, but it could also resolve the dim issue. So I'm going to try and reflow one of those displays, pop it in and see what happens, because that is a promising lead. So thanks, David. Shout out. We'll give that a try. In the meanwhile, I have remedied the random odd connector situation on the flipper coils using some brown funky wire there. Now I was going to try and match the colors and be all fancy about it, but I didn't find the exact same color, so I just made sure I got some good thick gauge wire here. Actually, in hindsight, this is a little thicker than the white that was on there, but thicker is better than thinner, right? So tidied all that up, no more connector on there. That's looking much better. The solder on those lugs were pretty crap too, so I had to scoot around to the other side, and you can see that is much tidier now. Again, it's not the exact wire colors, but oh well. Actually, I didn't have to add any wire here, so that was kind of nice, just here. So if I tried harder, I guess I could have found some white wire. That's pretty simple, but oh well. 'tis what it is. It's nice and tidy, no funky connectors in there anymore. And then, like I said, I was going to hardwire the flipper cabinet switches, which I have done. And you can see they're on there good now. No more spade connectors. And the wires were a little snug, so what I did was just remove this wire clip here that was here. There's one right here, and I don't feel like I really need an extra one there. I mean, I can still add it, just move it up a bit. So I might still do that. But, and then I soldered the wire on the switch. That's all happy and dandy now. And then the other flipper is hardwired. Had lots of wire here to work with. Goes all the way down there, so no troubles there. Yeah, so starting to make my typical mess in the cabinet there. So yeah, that is all done. That was a little tedious. What else can we do? I wouldn't mind actually trying reflowing one of those old displays and seeing if I can get some life out of that. Might as well while I have the soldering iron out. So we'll give that a try and see what else we have on the list. Just as I was hitting the stop button, I noticed something. Check this out. We are missing something. The leg of the ring and rod has broken off, and the nut that would have been there is long gone. Should look like that. So, gonna need a new ring and rod. I might have those in my black hole parts playfields, but I think I also used a bunch of them. So, if not, I'm certain I have one, but I gotta add that to the list. Alright, so Pinball 101, don't use your playfield glass as a workstation. Don't solder on the glass. Don't really put anything on the glass. That is my disclaimer. So, having said that, let's reflow some glass pins and see what happens here. Definitely awkward. I can't really see what I'm doing a whole lot. The light isn't perfect, but oh well. I think this should be fine. So maybe I will fast forward the rest of these guys. All right, we'll see if that works. All right, I installed that display. Let's power on the machine. I'll go take a look. I don't know if I have the highest hopes, but I do have some hopes. As you can see, player one, I mean, all the displays are still nice and bright that I replaced yesterday, except for the stupid credit display. I don't know why I can't just, out of 10 credit displays, get one good one. I tried charging them, and that didn't work either, so let's see if we have brightness. Come on! Brightness. Nope, dimness. So, charging the display doesn't work. Reflowing the display connector doesn't work. It's just changing the display. That's the only thing that seems to work. It's got to be on the display though, because I plug in the other display and it's perfectly fine. So it has to be display specific. All right, well, I'm gonna pass / give up on that for now. See, put in the other display and it's perfectly fine. So it has to be display specific because the same thing happened on 1, 2, and 3 displays. So Still have yet to determine what that is. Could be a milestar thing, who knows. Okay, I've decided the next order of business is to add a memory capacitor in place of the old battery, so that yeah, it will retain my credits, so I don't need to keep adding credits every time I want to troubleshoot, but B, just to remove and get rid of that old battery once and for all. So that will go there. And look at this. Thanks, Black Hole, for providing some nice ground wires that I'm going to use to do the ground mods on all the boards. So this ground mod, I already, scratched off that area of the board there, so that will go right there. And oh, I need my little screw terminal thingies for the ends of the wires. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. As you can see, I've got some legs. I already kind of cleaned them up, so they're shiny and ready to go for whenever that happens. They're kind of just in the way right now, so I'm going to move them. And I'll reuse the 2 head bolts, but we'll get new leg bolts. I still don't know what that came from. That was in the cabinet. And then it's tilt bob. So, alright, I'm going to get started on all this. Okay, the CPU is back in. As you can see, the game is powered on and working. I've got my ground wire here that will ultimately go to the power supply bracket here, and then they'll all end up down to the transformer panel ground. So I just got that taped off for now so it doesn't touch anything. And I got a memory capacitor in there. It might not be the prettiest way to do things, but I am currently testing it. I just played a quick game. I threw in some credits. So last game was 78,000. I've got oh, that's interesting. A credit display. Oh, look at that. That turned it on. So maybe that is got something to do with the wiring. Although I did push in all these wires nice and snug into the connector with my screwdriver, but definitely something flaky going on there. See that? Shut off again. Come on. Alright. So that's still on the list. Well, let's turn it off. Wait a couple seconds. See if my memory is memorizing things. 18 credits, and there's the last score / high score to date. Alright, so there we go. That is some progress right there. Okay, I don't think I hit the record button for like an hour there. Just dealing with all these ground mods, and I am finally finished here. Oh, how much slack do I got on this guy here? Okay, still a good amount. So here's how it all went down. So each board has an extra ground wire that goes to the power supply frame. But what you have to do is Dremel where the screw attaches to the frame, because this has got like an anodized coating to it. So you have to Dremel that off. So get it nice and like stainless steel, silvery looking. So the CPU has a ground to the frame. The driver has a ground to the frame. The soundboard has a ground to the frame. The power supply is grounded at the negative end of C1 capacitor. That goes to the frame. And then this is basically what ties all those together via the frame and goes down. Technically, it's probably ideal to make it all the way to the transformer frame down there itself, but I kind of ran out of wire, so I just settled for this point right there, which that yellow wire goes from there to the transformer panel. So everything is nicely grounded, except for the machine. So that's going to be next on the list. Alright, installation of the new plug has commenced. Alright, so cut off the old plug, slide on the new plug body, strip an inch of insulation off the old plug here. Then you get rid of the extra like filter wire or whatever the heck that is. Strip off 3/8 on each of the conductor wires, and then very simple, white goes on silver screw, black goes on brass, green goes on ground. Screw everything back together again and it will look like this. Voila, just like that. Boom, boom, and boom. Oh, let's run a little test here. Let's see how well everything is grounded. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to grab my multimeter. Okay, check this out. This is how we can kind of check the ground throughout the machine and make sure the ground pin is doing what it is supposed to do. So here's the ground pin on the plug. So I just have this alligator clipped to my black lead, and here's my red lead, and then I've got it in continuity test, so you can hear the meter beeping. So once I get further away with my phone here, you may not hear the meter beeping, but I'll let you know. First thing we can do is try the side rails because they are grounded. Can you hear that beeping? Try the other side rail over here. Voila, we've got beeping. Let's try the edge of the machine here, the front edge. We've got ground. Okay, now we can go right to the boards even and check all the grounds. Right from the ground pin of the plug to the CPU. That's groundage. And then right here should be ground. Right here. We got beeps all the way through. So basically everything, metal, maybe even the hinge. Yep, that's grounded. That goes to the latch on the back. That goes to the latch on the back. These might, yep. Basically everything metal, pretty much, that one can touch is grounded. So I am happy with those results. There is a slight chance that maybe my credit display has something to do with ground, but I do think the credit display being dim, I think it runs on actually a different voltage than the player displays, so could be a separate entity altogether. I'm going to look into that at some point, but that I am happy with for now. I almost don't want to document all of my shenanigans because there are so many, but otherwise I wouldn't have named the channel Pinball Shenanigans. But I put the plug through the spinner there as I was changing it, just so that I think you see where I'm going with this, so that the wire wouldn't fall off of the machine. Well, guess what? Now that the new plug is on, it don't fit. Shenanigander. Well, this is your, fun with pinball. You make some steps forward, you think, and then you take some steps backwards. The machine is now not booting up, and for whatever reason, I've got the power coming into the power supply, and now this test point here should be 42 volts DC. I'm getting half. And this test point here should be 60 volts DC, and I'm getting 40 volts. And then there is a 5.5 volt test point, which I'm getting basically nothing, negative 0.4 volts. How is that even possible? And then I think I'm missing 8. There it is, 8 volt test point right here, which I'm getting basically nothing. Okay, so I didn't even remove the power supply. I added this ground wire to the negative side of the cap with the board on the machine. So I got a call coming in right now, but that's another shenanigander. Let me know if you want the darn whirlwind plastics, man. Yes or no? It's been like a 3-day conversation. All right. Anyway, so for whatever effing reason, this power supply is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So back to the drawing board. I think I might just wrap up this video for the night. I may pluck away here, but I don't think I'm going to be getting into board repair tonight. It's getting near bedtime, so that's the end of this one. Sort of some progress, I think, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Pinball can be a pain in the butt sometimes.